don't you know? Banging our heads to the rhythm of the code. We don't care about dollars or the shiny blade. We're just falling to zero. It's our everyday. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make a dollar, we'll celebrate. We're the zero holders, our anthem we sing. Zero holders, our anthem we sing. Zero holders, we're the kings of the sea. None for the money, it's the land and the tree. We're all the zeros, our way to be. In the world of NFTs, we're wild and free.
Oh, fuck, guys. I'm getting so excited for tomorrow. I'm getting so excited for tomorrow.
Why?
You know, there's a thing happening tomorrow. It's kind of a once in an every 4 years kind of thing. You know.
Oh, we're going to talk about that today, right?
Yeah. Look, no, we have to. Fuck it. I mean, if it's
you said once every 4 years?
I think.
Yeah, is that when Henry gets a BJ from his wife?
That's when he gets one of those grinder dates.
Bro, you have no idea. You have no idea what I get.
I'm joking. There's no need to start bragging about what happens in your own home. Please.
I'm not bragging.
Just saying. It seemed like you were about to go off for a second. Be like, no, you don't know my wife, dude. You don't know her.
Shut up, Joe.
Oh, goddamn. All right. Well, good to see you boys. Good to see you guys. Happy Monday. We're officially in Moonvember. I think I settled on it, or I don't know if the community settled on it, but October over. It was over on Friday, but I don't think we even reviewed how the month went. We can touch on that today, but it was up. It was up. It was up in crypto. It was kind of up in NFTs, and we're on to Moonvember, and it looks like shit to start. But some exciting stuff I think is starting to happen out there. Guys, smash the like on the show. Make sure you're subscribed here to SlamX Official on YouTube. It's SlamXIO over on X.
Also, before we get too deep, apologies to Joe. The Finns lost. We talked Friday. It came down to a 61-yard field goal with 5 seconds left. It was a good game. Yeah. The Dolphins ran all over the Bills, but in the end, we came out with the W. Good game, division rivalry.
Yeah, I will say this. Don't want to bore the audience with this. I mean, I'm sure most of them are from across the pond. They don't even like American football. They're over there eating crumpets and fucking kicking balls and shit. Who knows what the fuck they do, right? So I don't want to bore them with our American football. But, but I'll tell you one thing. Regardless if you're playing American football or that other fucking football, when you're thirsty, you grab for a rec drinks. That's it.
So good.
It refreshes. It doesn't matter what color.
Got mine in.
What country, whatever you're from. Rec drinks, refreshing.
No lie, because I think only pussies drink wrecked guy out of a can. The real thing to do is to fill up your thirst quencher all the way to the top. I can hold 2.5 rec guys in here. I'm on my third one.
No, well, this is how I drink it. Watch this. If I'm drinking the rec guy, I want to pour it directly into my cap.
That's right.
Look at that. And then delicious.
Well, I think
Joe,
that's both bitch-ass pussy ways to drink it.
Because
I drink it out of my neighbor's belly button.
The only reason...
Edge.
Yeah, the only reason Joe drinks out of a hat is he's too much of a bitch to drink it out of his shoe.
Yeah.
Part of that is true.
We call it a shoey here.
Yes. Fuck. Part of me definitely wants to continue going down this path. Don't want to ruin the bit. But what I was going to say was you essentially probably destroyed our season. That was probably the end of our season as far as the Dolphins go. Yeah. Luckily, Tua didn't get injured. I mean, we couldn't have played a better game minus a couple of mistakes, like a fumble when we had the momentum, I would say.
Yeah.
And what else would I say about that? And the other thing I would say was, if you miss that field goal, that essentially puts us 1-2 plays away from a field goal ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's a really risky play from the Buffalo Bills. So like, I'm very surprised it went the way that it did, and it could have went a whole different way. But I would say that like, one thing that we can all agree on is whether you win or lose, you want to reach, crack open, and hear the beautiful sounds of a rec drink. I mean,
Dude, it's such gold. You know who's gonna be so impressed with like how we talk about this?
Who's that?
Do you know who?
Well, it's probably Tyler Bass. I don't know if you caught him right after the field goal. Literally right after the field goal, he ran to the bench. You saw what he grabbed, right, Joe?
Yeah, I did see it.
Two cans of the frothiest, most delicious wrecked drink.
Whoa.
Hot off the press. I think he was one of the first to receive it. And he gave a great review live on AM 550 WGR, local Buffalo radio station. So
Right
shout
out
out
of Coach's
uh,
to Bebo.
I love that.
No, he drank it like a pussy out of the can, but
What a
still,
bitch.
Still.
We're using a lot of like sassy bitch. We're like very broed out today. I think I love it, but
there's that energy in the air.
there is some energy in the air
for
man.
at least another 29 hours or so until we're all like, oh shit, dude. Bitcoin just nuked.
Yeah.
Harris got elected and it nuked.
That's gonna be off. Well, let's get to that. But let's at least mention, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah. Let's address it. And God, I think he's gonna be so impressed by the polish and the graphics, flashing all the time. It's very high production value.
Hold on. If you're gonna do something, I don't know what you're gonna do, but if you're gonna do something, you might want to do it legitimately and do late breaking news, like a news break or
breaking
whatever.
News.
Okay.
Yeah, breaking news. Thanks.
Breaking news. Hang on. I am so. He's gonna be so impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
He's impressed.
Man,
If he's watching this right now, having you struggle to find the one button the one thing that we use to make us somewhat.
Here we go. Breaking news. Breaking news. All right, there's some amazing fucking news. Shout out to the. Hang on. Let's see. Breaking news. That's right. Big news out of the Wrecked Drinks project. A complete sellout. Guys, a complete sellout. It only took 48 hours to sell out 222,000 cans of the delicious, refreshing, sparkling Wrecked Drinks. Guys, no alcohol, no energy, no calories, no flavor. It's fucking amazing. Wrecked Drinks.
No
It
energy.
just came out. No
No
energy.
flavor. Hey guys,
Wow.
are you looking for a drink with no energy, no flavor? Wreck drinks.
I bet it's delicious. And we'll only know when Edge hooks us up, or when the next batch comes out for us to buy. They sold out so fast. Or on Wednesday when OSF joins the show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Wednesday right here on the Non-Fungible Idiot Show. OSF will be joining us, our first ever live guest, which is fucking crazy. That's actually perfect, isn't it? Isn't that like just the most perfect guest you can imagine?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen him on Rug Raid, Dio. He seems like, first of all, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But I would say that he's pretty chill. Like he's not he's not the Joe of the show. He might be the Hudah of the show, right? Like he kind of chills back.
Yep.
He's the Mac in the back, as we like to say. You know what I mean? The Mac Daddy in the background. Or he could actually be the Henry, where he's like kind of not paying attention fully. He's drawing pictures. He's just like fucking, you know what I mean? And he's like that sort of thing. But I'll tell you what, I'm excited to have him. I'm curious if he, I have run into him before in my VFriends days. I'm curious to see if he remembers me. I'm hoping that he doesn't, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, he seems cool. He is chill. We'll see if we can get him worked up. Hey, politics can get anybody worked up. If it can't get him worked up, then I don't know what that says. But he is very cool and he's very chill. And I do think what he's doing is really, really impressive out there. And there's all kinds of stuff I want to talk to him about, like this like evolution of NFTs. And it's I told him and I told Joe before the show, there's just a few projects that I think are really like have taken that next step or a leap into the next gen. It like Pudgy Penguins and the Doodles. And I think honestly, I don't even think this sounds crazy. Rec Drinks, like doing the ownership thing we talked about years ago. We thought it'd be cool. Oh, this means you can be part of a thing in a deeper way.
Well, and I don't want to. I don't know if I want to make this show the OSF show now when Ovi's going to be here Wednesday.
Right.
Let's just say shit happens. We're hoping he'll be here. I don't know who to set it up.
These things fall through a lot.
You never know. Yeah, like a lot of people just say yes and then they never come. So hopefully he'll be there, but you never know.
He didn't just say yes though. He said I can't fucking wait.
He
said I cleared the calendar,
right,
and I took off the day before to prep.
Right,
like he said that he said I'm so fucking geeked out for this shit.
So
I've heard of you guys. He said I've heard of you. I'm a fan.
I'd love you to screenshot that and then show us at least.
Yeah,
because I don't believe that one bit.
No, it happened. Give me like.
I'll give you as much time as you need.
I just got to log into that account.
He just needs to log into his Photoshop app. But yeah, I'm wondering if there's any patting of the back for me using Rec Drinks in almost every single retweet of our show for the past 2 weeks or something like that. That's a possibility. I'd like to thank Hudah for not stealing my idea, even though he tried to.
I was really tempted when I reached out. I'm like, you want to come on the morning show?
Of course you did. Oh yeah, of course. Because I forgot when I was like, is he going to be on our show or is he going to be on your other fucking stupid show? And you were like, oh duh, it's going to be on our show. So that's awesome. The only thing I'm kind of bummed about is I wish we had Rec Drinks while he was on the show, but maybe it would be awkward if we didn't like it. So maybe it's better that he didn't. We're not going to have it.
Yeah, because yeah, that would be really fucking awkward. We drank it and be like, that's it.
You're like, this tastes like fucking shit.
Huh. Literally no flavor, man.
Yeah, Ovi's really cool because he does Rec Drinks, he does Rec Guy, he does all these different types of art. So he's an artist as well as kind of like not only a KOLer, he's an artist. He does all sorts of really cool things within the ecosystem of what we're doing.
Dude, the most recent Red Bull Racing Velocity Series artist. Like, that's big time.
Big time. He did the karate shit. Remember he was like fighting somebody?
Oh, okay, listen. He's going to come on Wednesday.
Okay,
we'll have all the time in the world to give
stop.
him, we'll chum the waters for him. We'll tell everyone he's the greatest artist ever. It's a paradigm shift for consumer crypto. We'll do all that Wednesday along with some election breakdown. But today is the last time that we're going to be able to talk about the election being tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude. First of all, what are you mad at Ovi too? What first Luca and now Ovi? What's your
No. I like OSF. No. I like OSF.
Okay.
Yeah. He's one of the good dudes, like the good guys.
I like him. I got nothing.
Is he a good dude, or is he the dude that made everything crash after he put all of the he accepted all the bids for his Bored Ape Yacht Club? Is that you know what I mean? Like,
was that hit? Did he do that?
Yeah, he's the one that sold into a bunch of offers from Machi, I think.
So he's also a great trader.
He's also, I mean, honestly, he's a great trader too.
Man, this guy, there's nothing he can't do.
8 million, 14 million. I forget what it was.
Let's do this. I do want to get to politics. I think we'll chew on that for a while. Let me hit our other top story then real quick, because it's a big one. And I hope you guys saw it. If you didn't,
let's try to avoid politics today just because Henry wants to talk so much about it.
I like that, but it's unavoidable. It's too awesome. But either way, we'll avoid it for a bit because we're going to talk top story. Guys, I think it's actually happening.
What is?
I think it's happening.
It's happening.
It being, and hey, echo alert.
Yeah.
Echo alert.
Don't even say it.
Paradigm. Crypto.
Historic.
Oats. On the OpenSea. December 2024.
Set
OpenSea.
Ladies and gentlemen, do we possibly have
No.
the SOS of 2024? Do we possibly have an OpenSea token drop?
No.
I think we do.
No, I don't think so.
I think we fucking do.
What about that made you think there's going to be a token launch for
Well,
that?
nothing about that. Although I'll tell you what, I went frame by frame in that thing to look for a little like anything, like to see if there's any little tease, any little something. It ain't there.
No.
It is elsewhere
Okay.
on a little teasy kind of screenshot that's teasing a leaderboard.
Yeah.
Look, and at first I'm like, okay, we're just ranking collections, activity, whatever. But no, there's a stats page. There's an activity page. That's where that belongs. You have a leaderboard for one thing. Points, right? People, traders, points. And you're not going to do points without a token or else you're a bitch.
May I make one observation in this whole thing?
You may.
They are a U.S.-based company under a current investigation by the SEC. It's just hard for me to picture their legal team being like, guys, this is a great time to launch a token.
Everyone else is doing it. Why not? Dude? Who gives a fuck?
I'm just saying.
Fair. What if all of a sudden we go to OpenSea tomorrow and it's OpenSea.us? Exactly like Magic Eden's doing.
You know what's going to happen? OpenSea is going to be launching an NFT, and no one's going to fucking buy it. It's going to be a fucking sale, a ship that
they already have exactly that.
Gemini's. I have a couple of them. Were they just gems?
You might want to get away from that.
Yeah, don't go to OpenSea.us. You'll get this page. I'm going to continue. Okay.
Continue. Click link. Sign
I wonder if that's maybe
that was
set up.
That was MetaMask, by the way. But whatever.
Yeah.
I love that every screen from yours it looks like a fucking disaster. Wow, bro.
We're going now to OpenSea.uk.
Does that happen for you, by the way, Hudah? Like when you go to a bunch of websites, it's got the malicious sites?
Sometimes I went to Aussie's store like 2 weeks ago and it did that. And there was also another very legit site that did that too. It's, someone, I don't know if that is from MetaMask. It says it there, but like updated definitions and it's flagging like false positives.
By the way, can you imagine if OpenSea did a fucking token and airdropped us fucking tokens? Oh my God.
I think they're going.
Oh.
What
knowing that they're in an investigation, what makes you think that they want to poke the bear?
Hold on, Henry.
I think it's a fuck it. What else are you like? What are you gonna do? Fuck it.
Yeah. Hey, Henry, I don't like your tone. You're getting mad at me for getting excited by it.
No. Not mad.
Here's what you said, Henry. Henry, you go like this. What makes you think that OpenSea? What are you, an idiot? Like that's what I heard.
No, well, if that's what you heard, I'm sorry.
What makes you think that there's going to be a? What about this makes your stupid ass think there's going to be a token?
Listen, I would love it if they have a token because, and if they backdate it to our history, which they'd have to, because nobody's trading on OpenSea right now. I'd love it. I'd love it, especially if it was worth something.
How about this? What if MetaMask and OpenSea do back-to-back fucking tokens?
And Magic Eden?
Oh, yeah.
By
the way, with Magic Eden,
I wouldn't care.
My dick is tingling over that Magic Eden token.
It's not the Eden, dude. It's the peanut butter you put on there last night.
It's both. It's both then, because it's definitely part Magic Eden, part.
It's the rec drinks that you dipped your dick in.
You ain't a man unless you drink rec drinks with your dick. You dip it in, you just let it absorb over like a week.
Like a straw.
Yeah. Or you have somebody mama bird it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should I demonstrate how that would work?
No, we all understand how mama birding it would work, dude.
With your dick?
Yeah, I think exactly. Right. We all understand that. Are you sure? Yeah, we get it.
Can I show you anyways?
I know, right?
No, okay, the Magic Eden token, I saved a single link that doesn't say anything, but I read it all. It meant something to me. Okay, they implemented a swap, I guess, over the past week, which doesn't make sense to me. It was like a Solana to USD swap, and I didn't understand it because I'm like, you could already swap to like USDC, so I didn't quite get the point of it. But like more and more, I'm getting in my head what they're growing into, which is what they said. They're growing into the like on-chain Binance, like the Web3 marketplace / swap platform, or DEX, like a true DEX. I just keep thinking of Binance and the BNB token with what's the market cap on this fucker? $80 million?
$80
billion?
80
And
billion.
I'm like, dude, Magic Eden, I really do think is on this trajectory for like 3 to 5 years down the road to be like a competitor to Binance and the other major exchanges. And if Magic Eden, the ME token is their BNB token, I don't think I'm going to sell that thing when it comes out. I don't. I almost, again, it's just the spidey sense thing, but something tells me to just buy and buy and buy. This is financial advice. Buy and buy and buy and buy and buy the ME token. Buy it on the pre-markets, buy the test token, buy all of it.
Don't buy the test token.
No, don't buy anything.
I talked to somebody at Magic Eden just verifying that the test token is worthless, and it is. They have no plans with it, but maybe everything else you're saying is true.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's. I just again, something's telling me that platform is going to be fucking massive, like Binance massive, Coinbase massive, like massive. And so that ME token, whenever it drops, not selling it, not going to trade, not going to do anything. I'm going to tuck it away and come back to it in 5-10 years and see how that plays out.
And my financial advice would be to sell that fucking thing as soon as you fucking get it in your wallet. Peace.
Oh man, yeah, dude, vibes are awesome right now. With things looking like this, vibes are fucking awesome right now. I don't know why. You know what? Part of why.
Hold on, Bitcoin's at 67.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, no, rough today.
Pre-election FUD.
And there's something to that, guys. There's something to that pre-election FUD that happens, I think, every cycle. I think I got a tweet. Yeah, here we go. Got this bookmarked. The last 3 elections, we rip right after the election. All the last 3. And right before is usually like a local low. I'm excited for what's coming.
It's hard to say that it rips. You know what I mean?
I think that's ripping.
Yeah,
I think those look like rips.
But you want to know what? That's like 4 months away. You know what I mean? It looks like it's like the next day, but it's like gradual.
No, that's fair too. I'll pull up when we get into conversations. I'll pull up the Bitcoin price and kind of see when it does start taking off. But like, I like this stuff. I like these predictions. I like Bitcoin hitting 80, 90K if Trump wins. Like that could be an overnight thing. Could be. Who knows? Not that I think we'll find out who's winning overnight, but also 200,000 target by 2025. Or I would assume that's in 2025, regardless of the outcome. Love that. And then finally, we've talked about this a decent amount, but here's the price of Bitcoin with like search history, like Google search trends and whatever being basically as low as it was in the bear market, which is really fucking crazy to just think. Again, that analogy of the volleyball or ball held underwater, it's that. It's like as far as search activity for Bitcoin.
Price compared to search activity, so like the price is not reflecting just how much people are searching Bitcoin?
Well, nobody's searching Bitcoin and the price is really high. I mean, we are close to all-time high and nobody's searching, like people, retail, current retail is not in.
Gotcha.
So it just, to me, screams that this is going to cook. Just going to cook. So really excited for this. I hope it's just this week, and once we're past it, we really start taking off. And it feels that way, but who knows? Who knows? Usually when everybody's feeling a certain kind of way, maybe it doesn't play out. Well, I
love how Hudah looks at these lines, and he's like, this, are you seeing this? This is big. And Joe's looking at these lines, and he's like, fucking what? One's low and one's high. I have no idea what the fuck that means. So, yeah, it's all in the translation of it all.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right.
Franksy, here we go. What's this about?
Just Franksy weighing in on the OpenSea stuff and hoping also that it's a token and kind of assuming it's a token. I do think it's a token.
Hudah, have you looked into this a bunch today?
As much as you can. There's not much other than the screenshot. There's just
what?
Not a lot.
What are the other theories other than a token launch?
It's kind of just token. But
really?
There is going to be an updated marketplace of some sort, right? You know, like probably Blur kind of tools or whatever. And they already have that in that pro version, but it feels like it's just
what if they've misread the market, like as they've done so many times in the past, and to like what Pranksy's saying and what we all want, they don't retroactively do it.
Yeah.
And they just want starting today and going forward, you can farm on OpenSea.
I could see it happening. Yeah.
Or like something where they're like, I don't know where we're at now with the royalties, but can you imagine they're like, hey, everyone, we've heard everybody loud and clear, and we're bringing back royalties for everybody. And we're like, oh, great. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like dumb news that no one actually cares about.
Totally underwhelming. I just hope they realize the opportunity that they have. It's like go to war against the SEC and win over everybody because you're going to fight them. And at the same time, do the token as the ultimate fuck you to those guys and also give the people what they want. All this shit. They have the perfect opportunity to do something really splashy. And then it comes back to will they.
On it. Any bets on whether it happens or not? We're a month away.
A month away from, did they say? Oh, does this launch?
December.
I guess it does launch in
24th.
December. Yeah. Shit, dude. Maybe. Yeah, let's do a friendly bet. I mean, a money bet that's friendly.
Like $100?
$100.
$100 is friendly.
And a case of rec drinks. You got to buy it on eBay.
Let's not do the rec
A
drinks.
case of rec drinks, they're all sold out. So the price on the black market is going to be something insane.
Yeah, it's going to be like bars of gold. By the way, sign up. You do need to sign up, or maybe you don't have to, but there is a whitelist, waitlist, whatever. I dropped a link in the chat. It's OpenSea.io/waitlist. 110,000 people on the waitlist here right now. They log your IP. This is an exceptional honeypot.
Everyone's arrested once they've
botted to all hell,
Yeah.
and the list is used to exclude U.S. Customers and blah blah blah.
This is super
I don't like
relaxing,
OpenSea.
by the way.
It is. I like it. I want to be on there.
Right? I just want to. Yeah, I want to be on there. And
It looks like the bioluminescent bay. You know,
What's the back of it? What are the numbers on the back?
OS2. Oh, so OpenSea 2 or 2.0 or whatever.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
They're going to launch a different. It's going to be OpenSea Part 2, where there's going to be a bunch of new functions, whatever.
It'd be funny if if it's just OpenSea Pro, like that thing.
Yeah.
Just, new logo. And that's it.
I don't see it, man. I don't see a token.
Look at that. It's sailing towards that token.
I don't see a token either. Hudah, are you betting that there is a token?
Yes.
Take that bet, Henry.
Oh, I'm taking the bet. I bet there's not a token.
Okay.
They'd be fucking idiots if they did not.
I agree with you. It's just the timing of it. Like, they're fighting with the SEC. They don't have a token now. Why are you going to bring that to the table? Like,
yeah,
it just seems like a weird. It seems like a weird time to launch a token.
But why not, Henry? I mean, my question is that like everyone's launching tokens all the time. Why? Like, who cares? Like Ape Chains. I mean, what about Banana? Everyone's involved. Like, it hasn't stopped anyone else. Why would it stop these guys?
I mean, CZ spent 4 months in prison for not doing KYC, AML, etc. I mean, maybe they're going to do it totally above board, but that means everybody
Trump did it at KYC, and
that means everybody's KYCing and going to be far less excited about it. And
do we know how that went? By the way,
it didn't go good. They slashed. They were trying to raise like 300 million, or it was even more than that, and they slashed it to just raising 30 mil. And it's like
because I remember when it first launched, they were like, we have to delay it, and like 1% or like 0.3% sold out or something like that. Yeah. Like, do we know the percentage that it sold?
Of 30 mil now, I honestly don't know, but it's not much. It's still in the millions. I want to say like 10 mil.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, something like that. But it's nothing compared to what they were trying to get out of it.
Gotcha.
So, God, this is really relaxing. I like it. Yeah. Okay, we'll make that bet. 100. Here it is. Like the bet's being made, and we're shaking on it. We're shaking. There we go. Boom.
Shook.
And $100 paid in token. Unless there is no token, then paid in
Polygon.
No thanks. Nah, in Emmy.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Who the fuck is this?
Beeple's election night party kicks off tomorrow.
Way.
Gonna be fucking awesome. He's so fucking cool.
That's People's Studio right there?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep. You know our boy Gravity?
Yeah.
Has some art that's gonna be featured there?
No way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pull it up.
Can I see it like when I haven't looked into a lot of the art that's been at Beeple's studio, but I did remember looking at the opening kind of like launch of it all, and the fucking artists were really, really not mainstream, but really fucking cool. So I'm assuming Gravity is, is that his? Well,
yes, yeah.
Then great. Great job. Yeah, love it.
By the way, Coco in our chat is saying here, this is interesting.
Coco.
Saying different Coco, but the name's awesome still. He's saying, let me pull this up. Okay, Coco Loco's saying, look at the reflection of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're looking.
I like Coco's fucking
It looks like Ethereum. What, the boat itself, or just the color and all that?
Oh, if you're looking at the reflection, if you
it looks like the Ethereum logo.
Yeah.
I can see what they're saying.
There's a resemblance.
Yeah, I love it though. This is the type of conspiracy stuff I like.
Yeah. Let's see. Gravity doubts it's a token. Anyway, Coco also saying they're going to do a Uniswap L2 and you got a stake to validate. I like it. I like it. You know what? I like that idea of like running a node or validator or whatever. Like, remember that game Off the Grid where you have to have the node to be able to do transactions? You get a little percent of it. I would love to see a marketplace do something like that. You're part of the fees process, validation process, and you get a little cut from that. Something like that would be really cool.
Can't do it, dude.
You can't do it?
Unless you're Rec Drinks, I don't think you can do it.
No, only Rec Drinks could. I hope they launch an L2.
Yeah.
And you have to stake in the L2 to drink your drink.
We should ask OSF about how that is legal. And Henry, that should be your homework assignment.
I'm going to put them up like
they filed
like
an exemption. They filed an exemption to fundraise. Yeah.
They did?
They did. Yeah.
Is that kosher?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, although, like, I don't think anything anybody does when it comes to the SEC is going to, matter if it's something that they decide they want to investigate and say, like, oh, yeah, but it's a security because you're paying dividends back to your NFT holders who bought this and it served as a capital raise, which is maybe okay in the exemption, but you're paying back money to them and they concoct some whole story about how you were, basically funding the Lazarus Group in North Korea through your drinks.
A buddy of mine, this guy is ridiculous. He fucking called me up, knows nothing about crypto, just a fucking total turd. I can't emphasize enough just how stupid he is. But he called me up and he was telling me that is it Raul Pal bought an X copy? Is that sound?
Oh, he's got a fuck ton of X copies.
Really?
Oh, he's a big X copy collector.
I did not know that.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. The dude was like, "Who's that? Do you know who X copy is?" I was like, "Yeah, dumb shit." Biggest fucking artist. And he goes, is there anybody else that I should buy that's like a really good underground artist? I was like, dude, come on, man. Like NFTs are dead, bro. This
is like a normie dude.
Yeah, but he's got like some shit coins.
Dude, get his ass in here so we could dump on him, please.
Oh no, dude, he fucking hates Henry. He hates him.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
because the MAGA stuff.
No, not because of the MAGA. Well, he probably thinks he's a MAGA tard, but yeah,
you should wear the hat, Henry.
I know. If you're ever gonna wear it, you might as well wear it now.
Hey, I gotta turn the music on in my shop real quick. I'll grab my hat.
And can you not turn it up to the point where everyone in the audience can hear it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank
you. What was your take? You think there is a token or is not?
I think there's not a token. I think there's not. Anytime there's any sort of like coyness or sort of like some, like, oh, build up mystery, whatever you want to call it, it ends up being a disappointment always. Yeah. And NFTs are all about the sort of like, oh, what's gonna happen, and it never happens. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's going to be a coin.
Well, that's a fucking bummer.
It is a bummer. Yeah, but you never know. Like you what's the saying? You expect the worst, but you prepare for the worst. What is the saying?
You
prepare for the worst, but expect the best, or no, something like that.
I think you just expect the worst.
Expect the worst, prepare for the worst. That's probably a better.
That's good. No, I like that. It's kind of what I'm doing this week with the election.
Prepare for the worst. God damn it! I just had it in my head. Sorry,
dude. How can we not get that? Seems like such.
I'm gonna drop it.
Expect the worst. Prepare for the best. Prepare for the worst. Expect either. Did I just make up a saying?
Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Hope for the best. That's kind of a good.
That's it. Okay. That's it. Nailed it. That's
something
what
like
I'm doing with the election.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preparing for the worst. It's going to be bad. It's going to be. Oh, dude, you can click in the water.
Oh, that's cool.
You can splash in there, and it makes splash noises. There he goes. There's MAGA Henry.
Oh boy, look at that. Soak it in, future people.
Looks good.
They're so weird.
It's a good
You
looking
know,
hat.
when you
Do you remember how
see-
bad they looked when they first came out? Do you remember
Yeah.
them? Oh, they were
Yeah.
like mangled, fucking massive, and misshapen.
Do you remember like back in like when you watch like old footage of like the first time, like I don't even know, like the color barrier was broken in schools and like the white people are like really terrible, and you're like looking back at this. I wonder if Henry with that hat on in the future, people are going to be like, oh my God, look at that piece of shit, asshole motherfucker. Like, I wonder if it's going to be that sort of like,
Well,
correlation,
It won't. It's gonna be too late. Everyone will be dead. or
the
in
thing
prison.
is, and just for the audience, I'm not MAGA. Like, I'm not a MAGA person.
No.
And it sucks. Like, that's how you say, oh, I'm voting for this guy right now. But like, I'm MAGA. MAGA is a whole different. MAGA is a very different rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But like last night, or during the day, maybe my wife and I were talking about. There's a bill in the New York State on the ballot. It's called Prop 1.
Really?
Sorry, just seeing if the music's on. It's not. Yeah, and it has to do with like inclusiveness, and I don't know. You go on the Prop 1 website and it talks about all kinds of stuff that it is and what it's not, and then you go on like an opposition website and it just takes all of that stuff and flips it. And so the reality is like you don't reading that in 45 seconds, you don't know what's real and what's not. So I have no idea. But we were talking about this stuff, and my wife was saying, and she's not wrong on this, that Trump just says absurd shit.
Yeah.
When he's talking about kids getting hauled off and having sex changes without their parents knowing, and she's like, "It's just crazy talk." I'm like, "No, that is crazy. That's obviously more than likely not true. I've never heard of that happening anywhere."
I remember when you were like, oh, Haitian. Remember when you were like, hey, let's talk about the Haitians doing voodoo. Remember that? You were like fucking talking about the voodoo shit.
Bad
like
example.
whatever happened to the dogs and cats being eaten in Springfield, Ohio?
Nothing happened. They were
No, you know what happened is it was deemed to be completely false and ridiculous.
By who?
Just by the Libby tardies, dude.
I
I don't know. Maybe by the Republican governor, the Republican police, everyone that was ever asked or knows anything about it. The only people that said that it was legitimate was this lady, Karen Smith from 23 Mockingbird Lane that fucking lied. And one of the people that actually started the rumor retracted the statement and apologized and said, I'm really, really sorry that I said that. It was a completely false thing.
All of them. Everybody you mentioned, the governor and those other people, and then even the lady who started.
But Henry still believes it. Henry still
as he should. Every single one of those people were at a Diddy party, so you can't believe anything.
That's the Trump card, quote unquote, pun intended, right?
So my point to it was wearing the hat and the MAGA stuff when we're talking about this stuff, and I just said, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being wanting a strong border. No. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and that there's things that are on Trump's side that I just side more with.
What
she's
are
like,
those
yeah,
things?
she's like, it makes sense. She's like, you are a little bit of a racist. I said, a little bit of a racist. I said, are you kidding me? She's like, your upbringing was so weird. She's like, your parents were weird, and the way you guys are brought up. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with being a racist. I'm not.
Your upbringing had nothing to do with your racism. It had to do just with what's in your heart as a human being, I think.
Well, the thing is, she's like comparing wanting legal immigration.
Yes. This is the person that knows you almost the best in the world, by the way. Just wanted to put that context on there. Go ahead.
It's true.
Do you want us to move on?
No.
This is going so well for Henry.
I haven't even got to explain.
My wife calls me racist.
Henry, can I just say something real quick in your defense?
You just finish the thought, then you say it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but you are like a little bit racist. I'm like, I'm not a little bit racist. She's like, yeah, but like, you don't want people coming in the country. And I'm like, no. That's not true. Just come in legally. That's all. Like, you can come in. if you're allowed to come in, if we allow you to come in, if you pass the test, whatever, you can come in. But you can't just come in for the fucking hell of it. I can't just walk across the Canadian border and start working somewhere. Like, you're just not allowed to do it. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude.
Joe Rogan, Elon Musk podcast.
Joe Rogan would never come out and support Trump, would he?
No. Oh, no, I bet he will. I bet he might last minute. He might last minute.
Doesn't matter. Last minute, dude?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, no, fair.
I mean, come on.
No, good point.
Last minute.
So
like,
I guess.
Hey, everyone in the line. Joe Rogan's now supporting him. Oh, let's all change our votes now. Joe fucking Rogan. But he's such a cool guy. He's got those tight shirts and his bald head, and he's got a really weird muscular body that doesn't look, normal at all. Yeah, everyone's gonna change their fucking mind. No, I mean, it's kind of like he said that he didn't vote for Trump last time, right? And now he's kind of like,
he's definitely gonna vote Trump, but he's not gonna come out and say it, right?
Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Henry, what were you saying more about how was she just talking about immigration and how you were just like, your point was she called you racist and you were like, I just want.
And thinks most Republicans or I shouldn't even just say Republicans, anybody supporting him kind of leans that way a little bit.
Well, okay. Let me first say the nice thing about Henry is I think that like Henry, from my opinion, observing you from afar, I would say that like you, more than any other people that I may have like differing opinions on, like politically or whatever, you are a really open person. You're really able to listen. And a lot of times you're willing to change your opinion on something, which is almost unheard of because people hate being wrong. If you watch a fight between a man and a woman or a man and a man or just a couple or any friends or anybody, any relationship, and the fight is never really about the thing that they're fighting about, they just don't want to lose. And if you even if you have footage of what they're talking about and you show that one person's right, one's wrong, the person that's wrong will not relent on that. But you tend to like be humble, and I think it's really good quality that you are able to kind of like be fluid in your opinions and things like that. So I think that you are a work in progress sometimes, and you have the best qualities of someone that is a work in progress. So just wanted to say that as far as like that goes, because I know we've had discussions about this type of thing in the past, and you've been open and cool about it, I would say.
Yeah.
Room.
Yeah.
I forget what the conversation was, but it was.
Yeah. Now give the but.
There's no but. I mean, here's what my but is that I think a lot of people, as much as they don't want to be wrong about stuff, like they can't recognize when, like you're to recognize like, oh yeah, what the fuck is going on here? These people are saying horrible things. These people are like the KKK is at this Trump rally. This, horrible, despicable person is like eating dinner with him. They're talking about Haitians. You're defending it. They're talking about Puerto Ricans being a piece of garbage. I'm sure that you think like, oh, it's a joke, blah, blah. But it's like the more you're around all of this chaotic kind of weird stuff. Oh, Joe Rogan, sure, he drops the N-bomb like every other word, but like, like it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing is like easy for some people to be like, oh, it's just a joke. Everyone's too sensitive. I don't want to be politically correct. Stop infringing on my cool politically correct. I want to be able to do this. That type of thing. I think that some people, it's easier to kind of like, not be like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't be associated with this type of craziness, and I'm not that type of dude. And so that's kind of where my butt is that like you are too cool, too nice, too open, and too much of a good dude to be like kind of justifying craziness all the goddamn time.
There's such a deep misunderstanding, like when people have that position, like your position there, it's misrepresenting all those things, or how somebody like Henry, maybe myself, feels about those things too.
Well, explain it, Hudah.
I don't think I can, and especially here and now.
Say something that, like, here's my
that's the kind of statement that would make
here's
somebody
my
else
retort.
want
Here's
to
my
dig
retort
in their
to you.
heels even more and be like, "That's crazy."
Of course, but guess what? I can't help them anymore. Like, what do you want me to do? Continue to just be like, it's cool.
No,
Like,
no.
I've done
Continue
that
to
a million
think. No.
times.
Continue to think about why somebody like Henry, and again myself at times,
Oh.
like does still lean that way with those things, with them acknowledging all those things. But
can I give an example? Like, I'll give a real example of a conversation with my wife, who is more liberal, about Prop 1. Prop 1 is all about, I think, amending the New York State Constitution, which already has protected rights for people where you can't discriminate based on age, color, creed, I'm pretty sure gender.
Religion.
One of the things in Prop 1 is that it, I think, gender identity becomes part of it. And specifically being inclusive for trans people. No problem, right? Like, I don't give a shit. If you're trans, like, whatever. So we were talking about this, and I was reading the pro Prop 1 website, and then I was reading the anti Prop 1 website. And the anti Prop 1 website wasn't like, fuck these people. It was just pointing out that while there may not be something that happens right now, it seeds the way for people to be able to use girls' bathrooms, for men to be able, boys to play in girls' sports. It's not the purpose of the bill, but when it becomes part of like the state constitution, or when it becomes law, it may make it very difficult to be able to fight against that. So I was bringing that up to my wife, and I just said, so where's your line? I'm just curious. Like, if you're voting yes Prop 1, which has a bunch of stuff in it, where is your line where that's not okay? Like, where is the line where, like, yes, I don't think there's going to be an influx of boys and men into girls' locker rooms. I don't think that's going to happen.
Can I talk about that? Because this is something I heard about.
Let me just wrap the thought. I'm just like, where is your line? Because if it becomes law, somebody may not be able to stop that. Legally, you may be, let's say, liable for a lawsuit or something if you are questioning somebody going into the room who's like, no, I identify as a woman, when they really don't. People who would take advantage of that. It may not happen, but it opens the door for it to happen when I think it's potentially unnecessary. And the reality was, like, she couldn't give me a line. I said my line was, if you have a penis. My line is, if you have a penis, you don't need to be in the locker room. You identify as a woman, fine.
Can I
Totally
jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
So I don't even know what you were saying, to be honest with you, but I'm assuming that it had to do with trans people in bathrooms and in locker rooms. Is that kind of what you're saying?
That was an example that of what Prop 1 could be given. Yes. Let's just use that.
And are you saying the law should be, if you have a wiener, you shouldn't be able to go into a woman's bathroom or locker room? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, I don't know why we need a law that could potentially seed the way for this when people are already protected. Like, everybody already has inherent rights in the Bill of Rights. We have a state constitution that protects discrimination against everything that we needed for the last however many decades. I'm like, why do we even need to open the potential that this gets, like,
so you're
ambiguous? Why does it need to be ambiguous when it could just be like, if you're a girl, you can play girls' sports. If you're a boy, you can play boys' sports. If you're a girl, you can go in the girls' locker room. If you're a boy, you can go in the boys' locker room.
Here's why that's kind of crazy. And I think that you would know this, but I'm not sure. A buddy of mine, we were talking. He's like, I don't want my daughter around some dude that's got a schlong out. You know what I mean? Like, he's got his schlong out in the girl's bath. Like, he's going this whole direction of, like, just kind of like being crazy. But guess what the reality is that, you know, the reality is that there's a lot of dads that have girls that are young that are going into the boys' bathroom because either the mom's not around or they're a single dad or something to that effect. And that happens both ways. In locker rooms, when I go swimming, in bathrooms all the time. I was in Peppa Pig World, and a dad brought in a girl while I was in there with my son. And vice versa. My wife brings in my son.
But your dad didn't. The dad did not go into the girls' locker room. He brought a girl into the men's locker room. That's very different than. That's very different than.
Like, if you're talking about a law, and your line was, if you have a wiener, you can't go in there. Isn't that part of that law? If you had a wiener, that you couldn't go into the boys' locker room.
or into the girls' locker room.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I just said both ways of that. I said my wife brings in my son into the girls' locker room.
By the way, maybe there could be some exemptions like humans have done for a long time where it's like, yeah, well, if you're a kid going in with your parent into there, different story versus like 16-year-old Henry is like, I'm a girl and I'm going to go in the girls' locker room.
Honestly, I've never, ever had an issue with any bathroom ever, anytime in my entire life. So like, I do think that it's a made up sort of thing that like are just people are freaked out by. And if anything, the more I see it is like I see parents most of the time with kids in the bathrooms because they're doing that type of thing. Causing laws about that is just going to fuck that up. And the other thing that I would say about this is like, I think that people are what they're really afraid of and what they're trying to like the fear of a lot of this stuff is a man going into the woman's bathroom is going to be perverted and they're going to do something sexually violating and vice versa, right? But the actual thing is most of the time what happens is a gay dude who is in a boy's bathroom would probably have more of a opportunity to do whatever sort of weirdness they want, or even the fact that they had to conceal what they're doing causes more of a bastardization and sexual deviancy than anything else. It's the people that can express themselves that have to keep everything hidden are the ones that are in some weird bathroom on, you know, some weird highway where they're blowing somebody in a glory hole.
But it's a slippery slope that we've already begun to see. No, by the way, I agree with you completely that the idea of the monsters in the idea of like the monsters in the bathroom, like I don't think that happens. I think what could happen is that there are some creeps who could take advantage of it, but I don't think that's the norm. Where I think
they do it now.
Yeah, they don't, but here's the thing. I think where it actually practically starts to happen is boys and girls sports. When there is no line anymore. When there's no line anymore, look at what happened. I think it was just today we found out that Algerian boxer that won the gold in the women's. You saw that, right?
No, what was the news?
The news. You remember the whole like thing about the two?
Well, I was told. Here's what I was told on the latest of that, which was the federation that actually found that she was banned from whatever boxing thing was a Russian entity. And the Russian entity was trying to, they had an active interest in not having that Algerian woman box because there was a Russian undefeated boxer that they wanted to keep undefeated. That's what I was heard. And I was told that she was a woman her entire life and she could have a baby if she chose to. So
well, I don't know if she can. The medical report came out today.
Where?
It was leaked on. I saw it on X, and no, but hang on before it's just completely discredited.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I
don't know the source.
Henry, all I'm saying is it was leaked on X is not my favorite quality for a legitimate news.
Well, it may be able to be brought up exactly if it was their medical documents from when they had to go through like the IOC to register. But what came out was she has XY chromosomes, testicles, and a micropenis.
Every woman's got a micropenis. That's what a clit is.
I'm not sure that that's what they were referring to, but does every woman have testicles?
Olympic.
The testosterone levels of a man, I think they said.
See where is the Hindu Times the one that we're talking about? Hudah, is that?
Well, there's a bunch. It's on MSN, on Variety. It's kind of everywhere. Here's AP. No, that's
Italian boxer apologized. So that person apologized.
That's an older.
Where's the newest one?
It's on X, bro. It's on X. It's on X.
I mean, again, MSN.
The bridge is the home of Indian sports. I mean, whatever, dude. All I'm saying is I'm not going to take the Hindu Times or the Indians. I'll wait that one out. And I don't want to like weigh in on something that like I am like 50% sure of anyway on it. So like, it seems just like a slippery slope that like you hear some leak thing on that. And we're talking about someone's fucking life and probably someone's greatest accomplishment in their life.
But it's outside of this. It's happened in collegiate sports, not just in swimming. And so my point to all of that is I just feel like it's something that we don't need to do anything about. Like, if you have a passion for a sport and you were born as a man and you identify as a woman, fine. You may have to potentially give up that passion and hobby of yours to not be able to compete against people that you identify with but aren't actually. And so my wife says to this that, like, I don't want to say it's archaic, but she says, like, yeah, but we used to think this way about, gay people. And, there was a long time that certain people didn't have rights. And I'm like, yes, but we never had to cross biological spectrums when those things were happening. Like, we never had to.
This just in, OSF has canceled his appearance due to racism from Henry. No, Henry.
Why is this so dark there, by the way, Henry?
Why? It's because his soul is
it's
being
literally darkening the environment. Yeah.
It's dark side Henry.
It's gonna start glowing red and shit.
Hudah,
Sith eyes.
Back to what you were saying, because when I was saying what I was saying, I think what you were saying was, Joe, you're kind of like, I don't know. You were saying that, like, oh, this is the reason why people dig in or whatever. But, like, I was curious on what you meant by that, or did you want to elaborate?
I'll keep it very surface level still, like, because I don't think this is it's a longer conversation.
It's a whole show.
Point, like, TLDR, that take, I can promise you, and
my
I know
take,
you.
Right? My take.
No.
My take?
Well, okay, yeah, sure, that take. Yeah, your take. Yes. I know you. I think there's still a level of misunderstanding, which I don't think you would agree with or see, but I think it's there. Maybe I just leave it there because that's all. That's just.
Well, I said a bunch of things. What about those things would be the misinterpretation?
The way that I think you're saying that somebody on the right must be to be okay with being around those things and brushing those things off. They must think a certain way about it. They must think those don't matter enough. I don't think to me, that's not, I don't want to say it's not the right take. I just think there's much more to it. And I think people get in a trap of saying, like,
but Hudah, you're right. I think you're completely right. There's way much more to it. Everyone's reasonings are going to be different, but I do think, let's say the boxer that won the gold medal or whatever, or whoever. So let's say someone that's trans was listening to this and had to hear about something like that. They would have a completely different feeling on it because they've gone through their ways, and they might not be as open to be like, this dude's not. This dude is okay with someone that says that or whatever. And so I think that there's certain levels of which we have to say some people are going to have a line. And if you cross that line, you could say that, like, I'm not going to deal with that type of person. If you're hanging out with people that say these things on a daily basis, or are your friends, and we all have friends that say these things, and we hang out with those friends, what are we saying there? We are saying that on some level, we are saying that it's okay to say those things, or we're just busting their balls, but we still hang out with them. What does that say about us that we are okay with that? And I think that I'm not saying that, like, Henry is that. I already said that Henry's okay to change. Henry's a great person. Henry's better than me in lots and lots of ways that that I can't get over. But I would say that, like, there is something I can't stop saying that, like, these things are happening, and it's fucking crazy for me to not say them or feel as if I'm crazy for saying them in a way, right? Like, the dogs and cats thing, all this stuff. If there's an issue with that being untruthful or unfactual, let me know. But other than that, like, what are we saying? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to say what I feel and what I think is true. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry that if I'm saying that, like, if you agree with that, you're a piece of shit. I'm not saying that. I love Henry. I love everybody else. I'm just saying that, like, for me, I'm not going to hold my tongue anymore about someone that's, like, doing something that in my eyes seems weird, right? Like, Henry continuing to say that the dogs and cats thing is okay is weird to me. If nothing
am I saying that?
When I brought it up today, you were like, you did not say, like, yeah, that was not true.
No, but Joe, honestly, no. The reality is with the dogs and cats thing, I just when I say I don't know. I just genuinely don't know. There's so much stuff that I feel like I just don't know. And it's easy to write all of it off as like, it's crazy. It's ludicrous. But like, maybe we find out like, it was true. By the way, what sucks about it, Joe, is that he shouldn't be talking about that stuff.
No, he shouldn't. He
shouldn't be talking about that. It's
like,
let us debate that on a meaningless podcast.
Yeah.
Versus
and the election is tomorrow, people. We don't have to hear about this ever again, as far as these types of topics being relayed and this type of back and forth with these two types of people. So
what do you think is going to happen?
Ooh, predictions.
I'll give my prediction. I'm scared a little bit, but I do think that Kamala will win. I'm not sure if it's going to be any sort of landslide. I know that Trump said today, which is very un-Trump-like, he was asked what happens if he loses. And he's like, yeah, it's possible that I do lose. That's a very non-Trump thing to say. His Carolina speeches have been pretty not attended the last couple days. I actually listened to like the majority of one of his rallies, and it was just fucking sad. You know what I mean? So I do think that the momentum for Trump has been slowing down, and I think Kamala is probably going to be taking the lead. And the last thing I would say is it's really hard to get rid of Roe v. Wade and not expect some major consequence. That's fucking insanity. That's like really fucked up. And if there's ever a thing that would change people's minds for women and hopefully for men too, like I would think that would be huge. So I could see that being the reason why it kind of catapults, let alone the Puerto Rican is a floating pile of garbage. It just seemed like a lot of stuff happening at the very end. So I'm going to go with Kamala.
Hudah?
Hudah.
I don't know. I have a really good friend who's very liberal that I hung out with yesterday, and I was actually really surprised by what he said. First off, that he's not voting Kamala, voting Jill Stein. Like, just cannot support somebody who's so pro-war.
Is he a Jewish guy or a Palestinian?
No.
Pro-Palestinian?
No, just a very, very anti-war.
Yeah.
But like that's probably the most important issue.
I've heard that a bunch, by the way.
Yeah. And so he is concerned that Kamala is going to lose, and he's like, but that might be what we need for the left to do what needs to be done actually, and finally like kind of change and I don't know, just get their shit together in the right way, the way that needs to happen. It was interesting hearing that come from somebody,
Is he like me, left, sort of leading?
I think further.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Very, very liberal.
That makes sense.
So I don't know, all like energy vibes and stuff. I don't feel like Kamala can lose, but also there is a different kind of energy around Trump that I don't know.
The bro energy is massive with Trump. Massive.
There's even more. There is a lot of like just hate for not even bro stuff, but there's that too, but just hate for the system and the Democratic Party and just all of it. Like all of it. It's a really weird
Henry's take on this one.
Dude, it's nothing profound because I probably like both of you. No idea. I obviously prefer him over her. I think there's a ton of people who don't get reflected in, like, the polls to me are meaningless. Who the fuck are they polling? I think we talked about this. They're not calling us. They're not like,
they're calling, dude. They're texting me unbelievably. I have not
to
any of them.
Registered Democrat, right?
Me?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not registered with a party, so I've had no phone calls. I think most of the polls go specifically towards registered voters of a party. I've not had one reach out, phone call, text, anything about it. So I just think there's a lot of people who are in the closet for Trump that just don't talk about it. But dude, like, nothing will surprise me. She wins, I'm not gonna be like, I can't believe she won. Yeah. If he wins, I'm gonna be like, wow, I can't believe he won. But if she wins, I'm not going to be like she, to a certain degree, and to your point, she kind of should win.
Yeah, I think the Roe v. Wade thing is unreal. I mean, it really like there is like for like births and stuff like that. There are medical reasons why there should be a choice there. I don't want to get into that, but like,
no, I'm with you. I got girls. I'm with you.
So like So like if there are like in a place like Texas where like a doctor is like, I can't do this because of that, and the person dies, like that's happened.
I think it just happened. I read something like
Yeah.
yesterday about a teenager who needed
20
service
something.
for a miscarriage or something like that, and she ended up dying. She had gone to like 2 or 3
It was
hospitals.
going to be an inevitable miscarriage, and there was a chance for infection. That's got a word for it. I forget what the actual word is, but 2 days later, the doctor said he couldn't do that. He couldn't kind of deal with whatever procedure that needed to be done because it's illegal. She ended up dying 2 days later of some sort of infection.
Oh, question for you. If she gets in though, does that change? If Roe v. Wade is overturned,
it doesn't. Well, I don't know, but that's a great point, Henry. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that like the system works where the House needs to do something, like the House needs to draw up the laws, the Senate needs to vote okay on it, and then it needs to be signed into law by the president or whatever the case might be. And there's also like the Supreme Court. And I think that the argument being made was Trump appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, Kavanaugh, the lady, I forget her name is, and like somebody
Barrett.
else. Yeah, Coney Barrett.
Yeah.
And somebody else. And that's
Gorsuch? Was Gorsuch?
It sounds maybe, but that's 3, and it turned into a more conservative Supreme Court, which Trump said he wanted to do that, and that he was going to be pro-life. And so, in essence, the fact that a Republican was put into place at the presidential position did reflect the law because he appointed the Supreme Court justices, which he promised he would do. And that's why it's in law. If she gets into the presidency, it's going to be a conservative Supreme Court still. I don't necessarily know if she can do any sort of like drawing up laws or whatever. I think the Supreme Court would probably have to be evened out, whether that be more conservative justices retired and replaced with Democratic ones or more left-leaning ones, and then the law could be changed. But I think that that's one of those things where in the presidential elections, we hear like, if you're against abortion, this way, that way, but that's not how it's going to be working. And so a lot of times people are like, well, I voted you in. Why is this not happening? It's because that's not how the democratic process works with laws and things like that. But
dude, no matter what, I think my final prediction still is for me, no matter who wins, I think things are going to get ugly. Like I really do. I really fucking do. I really do.
No way, dude. I do think there's probably going to be, my prediction would be, and I told you, Hudah, I really wanted to place a bet on Polygon for Kamala Harris.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But you were saying like, you've got to like dig a hole and bury seeds.
Take
and then
20 minutes even to get funding over there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to do it. But I was going to bet hard on Harris because I do think there are probably a lot of Republicans and a lot of women Republicans, independents that probably swing towards the Democrats and Kamala because she's a woman president. She is for women's rights for abortions and things like that. And so I do think that that's probably way more important than we're actually realizing, because it is such a huge deal for women to deal with these things. IVF, all that sort of stuff is probably something that's weighing heavily on not just left-leaning, but all women. And I think that that's probably something that would swing the election, in my guesstimate.
Yep. All right. Let's cut it there, guys. Great show. Tomorrow's gonna be a really, really interesting day. I know a lot of people are off to go vote. Guys, make sure you vote or don't. I don't give a fuck if you vote.
Yeah.
I don't. If you do, write in Ron Paul.
Or Jill Stein, right?
Or Jill Stein. Yeah.
By the way, a lot of sort of like the pro-Gaza sort of or they refuse to kind of vote Democratic because of that and are writing in Jill Stein. But we'll see how that goes.
Honestly, I would rather do that. Like personally, maybe
I hear you, bro. I was a Bernie Sanders guy. There was a time where like that whole thing was like, don't vote. It's a rigged thing. I can't do that.
Yep. I hear you. All right, guys. Hope you all have a fantastic freaking night. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Chain Reactor. We'll see you in the afternoon. Guys, have a great freaking evening. We'll see you.
See ya.
We're the non-fungible EX, don't you know? Banging knives to the rhythm of the code. We don't care about dollars or the shiny 张开了啊，各位山西人，如果啊山西人心里有话儿向谁说？越多开，多开了啊，咋会孤单的？如果啊孤单了，动人的情歌哪里找？飞吧，张开你的翅膀，从那日出到日落，都看。
是
So beautiful.
Are they speaking English on there or
No.
okay?
No, I don't know.
Sometimes it sounds like it is.
It sounds like it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
So, did you vote yet, Henry?
No, tomorrow.
Are you gonna do it tomorrow?
Yeah, my daughter didn't want to early vote.
Nice. Are you off work tomorrow?
I'm only staying home because Nikki's got a doctor appointment in the afternoon, so it's just easier for me to stay home so I can pick him up from school.
Right on.
Is your daughter's voting?
Yeah.
How you have 3, right?
3. Yeah, only one of them's voting.
Only one can vote. Is she Trump or
No, definitely not.
No,
Yeah.
you're outvoted in the
I'm
house.
so curious watching my kids grow up because one of them is pro Trump, the other's not.
It's kind of
my
cool
son
to be
is.
pro Trump right now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of
Is
kids,
it?
like for kids, I think it's like very duty, like dudes. Although I would say that on TikTok, Kamala's like the girls in college and stuff like that are swinging towards the left a little bit.
Did you guys see the Bitcoin account tweeted out like Gore?
Gore?
I'm gonna try to get it off the screen in time, but this motorcycle, like this account's got 6 million followers, like 7 million followers. It tweets it out, and this guy like clips him, and it mangles his leg, and like it's kind of blurred out, but you also see the mangled leg like a little bit. Weird ass tweet.
Did you see Jason? I think Jason Kelsey's playing that kid's phone.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Fucking crazy.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I gotta go. No, Henry, I gotta go.
Whoa. Can we?
No, I gotta go. No.
I gotta ask
with you
you
guys tomorrow.
I need to ask you a question, dude. This is the last day. We're both voting tomorrow.
I thought you voted.
No, I didn't vote yet. I'm voting tomorrow.
Oh. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're voting tomorrow with your daughter.
Yeah.
What happens if you have a long line? Are you gonna?
I'll stay.
You'll stay regardless.
Absolutely.
Hours.
I would wait like an hour. I don't know if I'd wait 2 hours, but probably
Are the
would.
women in your family disappointed in you because it seems to be almost like a women centric sort of vote this time, right? Like it's
I think
women's rights are kind of like on the ballot a little bit. Is it weird that the dad is voting against both women in the house?
Fuck them, bro. Fuck them.
You don't think shit's gonna get crazy after the election?
No, I don't. I mean, honestly, Hudah, if my theory is correct, the MAGA shit, people are done with that, dude. They're not feeling that. Have you been watching? Is all I'm saying.
In probably different places, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think there's a lot of really hardcore guys, like people.
Well, there are. I mean, there's millions of them, but I'm saying that like in North Carolina, his rallies today, they were like not empty, but they were like not full. Like they're 70% full. Like it was just.
No, I've seen that.
I don't think it matters.
I just think there's some sketchy people out there, and then I think if he wins, they take him out. Like I do think and then the deportation stuff. I think it's going to be really fucking nuts either way, either side. Whoever wins, I don't know.
Joe, to answer your question, my family doesn't really care that I'm voting for Trump. They know the reasons why. I own a business that's fucking deader than dead, right? I mean, I've never seen it like this. I'm not.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not blaming Biden. But to me, I'm just like a change may be good. And like in the end, it doesn't. It feels like it doesn't matter anyway because I'm in New York, so it's. I could vote for Kamala. Like maybe I go in. I'm like, fuck it. I'm feeling saucy, man. I'm voting for KH.
If you do, let me know because I'll owe you a favor.
How would you feel if I vote for Kamala? Like I don't care. I'm wasting a vote no matter what. It does nothing.
You selling your vote?
I mean, honestly, Henry, I would be happy, but like, I'd be more happy if you were like, dude, I've seen the error of my ways, and I'm not just not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Trump right here. You know what I'm saying? Like in your heart. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
to you, it's so virtuous to vote for Kamala, right?
No. Don't get me wrong. No, not at all.
Okay,
Like if
okay.
in my like ideal situation, like Bernie would be there or someone way more progressive and way more out there. I think Democratic and Republican, like, because
Is
honestly,
she not pretty progressive?
No.
no, come on, dude. No,
She's not progressive.
no. And Trump's really not either, because no, what policies have he done? And by the way, like,
No, I
he's
don't
not,
think Trump's a progressive.
he won't be able to do anything cool ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
although he could have the
he
Senate
could
and
fuck he could fuck some shit up, dude. Great comment though. What is happening with the balance of power in the House and the Senate? I haven't even.
Senate's, like, honestly, the Senate, all Democratic seats are the ones that need to be, and they're like, it's in like South Carolina and like Montana and like all, like, if they win, if the Democrats win one, I'd be like, oh, that's great. And
So are Republicans projected to take the Senate, or
I would think so. I would think by a lot. I would think.
really?
I think so, dude. Just because, like, one of the one West Virginia, or is it West? It's like Kentucky, wherever Manchin was the Democratic guy, but he
West
wasn't.
Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia. Like, come on, dude. We're not winning that, right? We're not winning that.
No, we're not, bro. I'm on your side for real. I think we'll be over to Kamala.
I appreciate that, but yeah, I mean, honestly, the fucking, I would hope that, like, the whole, I know I was asking my wife, like, IVF's not really on the table, but it's kind of like what you were talking about with, once you start a law, it's kind of like inevitably affect things, like Roe v. Wade, and then IVF. Like, I used IVF for my 2 kids, like, and so it would be like, well, we wouldn't be able to get rid of the embryos. Like, we couldn't get rid of
is that the argument with IVF? Because I'm like, who's trying to get rid of IVF? I don't even understand it. Is that what it is? Like the embryo
that's considered life, right? Like, it's considered life. So you couldn't get rid of the embryos, but it's just all that sort of thing.
In or out of uterus?
It doesn't matter. Out of it, it doesn't matter. Like, when we, like, IVF is they take the eggs out of your wife and they take my sperm and then they freeze them for when they want to do, and then they pick the best of both, put them together, and then inject it into the wife's uterus. But like, and what happens is they pick the ones that you don't pick, I don't think you can, like, get rid of those, because those are considered life or whatever. But it's just that.
Would anybody care about that, or is that like it's an unfertilized egg, so who cares?
I don't know what you're supposed to do with that though. Like, what are you going to do? Just have a giant, like, surplus of, like, embryo eggs? Like, what's going to happen with that? Like, it just seems like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems weird. So, but I think that what they're saying is that this is the path that we're going down, of, like, if we're talking about life and when life is and but, like, I'm pro-life. I am a pro-life dude, but, like, I do understand that there are circumstances in which.
Explain what you mean by your pro-life.
Because I don't think that there should be, well, no, I'm pro-life because in an ideal situation, I wouldn't want there to be abortions or the abortion of child, because maybe that lends itself to being too lax with that. But I do understand that, like, it's either got to be too lax or not lax enough. And I think that with modern technology or medical practices, that's the direction that it's got to be, because the other way is so much more dangerous for life. More deaths happen because of abortions than when you're not having it. So, and crime, once a person has a child that's not ready for a child, that kid's life ends up being not as ideal, and they tend to have a harder life and tend to create do more crimes, and crime tends to increase because of that type of thing. So I guess that's what I mean by I'm pro-life. Like, in an ideal situation, I wouldn't want to I would
murder
want
people.
No, I don't consider it. Well, whatever. Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I'm not talking an abortion. You're pro-life in the sense of, like, hey, once you're alive, I think you should stay alive.
Of course. I think what I'm saying, yeah, like death penalty, I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would probably
I think that I don't care enough. No, that's not the right way to say it. I feel like I know so little about abortion. Like I know what anybody would know about it, which is like it
Right.
exists. It used to be legal.
Yeah.
Now it's not. What the statistics are, like, I'm not sure. I have to imagine that for the majority of abortions, it is a incredibly difficult decision. I would assume so.
Yeah.
I think in some scenarios, like when it's like, oh shit, I'm pregnant. No, I'm getting an abortion. It's probably like, no, I'm not. But like, I imagine that probably weighs on, I mean, I just see the difference between men and women a lot of times and the emotional difference between nurturers, like which women tend to be. It's probably a very difficult decision. And so to me, what it feels like is my opinion doesn't matter because the way it works is like I'm not the one giving birth, and so like how the fuck could I have a great opinion on that?
Yeah, and actually, yes, and I have friends that are Republican leaning strictly because of they're pro-life and they're super religious, and I totally get that, and I totally don't. I'm like, do you, baby? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. That makes perfect sense. Totally down with that. Not even going to have an argument. Not even going to try to do anything with that. But like, but you know, but with a lot of these abortions and things like that, like, yeah, it probably doesn't matter to us. But I think what matters is that like, and these are probably extreme measures, but like if my daughter in the future or some daughter needs a life-saving procedure, because the child, and if you know anything about pregnancies and births and stuff like that, it happens quite a lot. I mean, it's not such an outlier that there's
right.
And it's, you know, so if we're in Texas or someplace where the doctors are unable to address it and your daughter dies or something like that, like I can't deal with that, even though I'd rather not there be the flippantness of like people that are just like, oh, I got pregnant, I'm having an abortion. Like, obviously I'm like, I wish that wasn't happening, but I can't be that pro-life where I'm using it as a law to make choices for all these other things because that direction's not what I don't see that as being right.
Yeah. Question. So, Donald Trump, I'm not talking JD Vance, but Donald Trump's view is basically, it's complex, and let's leave it up to the states to decide.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, and I'm not saying that's a great idea, because again, I genuinely don't know, because it really comes down to when does life start, right? If life starts at a certain point, then it makes sense why people would say like, yeah, you can't make a decision to terminate that at a certain point, whether it's ever or like at X amount of weeks or whatever the case is. But like states before Roe v. Wade was overturned had their own state laws, right? That up until this point in time, it's legal. After here, it's not illegal, which by the way, the one thing I do know about it is I think there's only like a couple states that have abortions at any point. I think the majority of now, I think
it's illegal. Is that what you're saying?
No, that it's legal up until any point. I think there might be a couple of states, but if you read through the abortion laws of the majority of the states, there's like these charts that show like when can you do it, when can't you do it. They're reasonable. Like the idea of like people giving birth and then like somebody caps a baby in the head is not what it is.
I think the worst thing about having legal, like, it's like two dudes talking about it. The worst thing about is abortions being so common that it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. I think that's the argument for me that would be like, yeah, I get that. You know, like, I don't think that we should just be like, yeah, let's do. But yeah, dude, like, honestly, like, and then Trump and those guys or whoever's saying that like after 9 months, they're killing these babies. You know that it's like a weird fucking situation where like they're both there dying on the table and there's something weird happening. Like that's murder if you do it. I mean, it's just not something that it's a fear tactic a lot of times. But like, I do think that it's probably, you know, like the question. What you were talking about is abortion important enough where it's federally enforced rather than states are in charge? Because that's what we're talking about. Because
is it better that it's just left up to the states to decide, and then you can decide, well, the state I don't agree with, so I'm not going to live in the state.
Well, but here's the thing. A lot of times you can't just be like, I'm not going to live in the state. A lot of
It's
times
tough. Yeah, it's tough.
And then the other thing would be, and I'm not sure if this is a scare tactic from the, if you are, can they enact a law that you can't travel to a different place to have?
I've heard this. Yeah, I've heard this. I think the JD Vance actually talked about this on the podcast. He said his words were like, we're not looking to prosecute people for traveling. But no, it's a very valid point. It's super complex. I used to be pro-life, like, hey, pro-life, you can't do it. It's not fair. Like, there's adoption, sex makes babies, etc.
No one adopts, though. That's the problem. These people are thinking like, oh, adopt. None of those people adopt anybody. Yeah, but
do you know what? A girl that works for me, she adopted twins. It's a really sad situation, and I can't imagine there's a ton of people like her. I think they're fewer and far between who are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And then, bro, it's like to hear somebody say, having 3 daughters, that like, if your daughter was raped,
right?
Well, you know what? It's God's will, and there's people that'll take that baby, they'll take it and they'll raise it. Like, that's some serious shit that would be so fucking impossible to even put yourself in that place to be like, well, I was raped and I guess it's somebody's will, so I'm going to have this child. Like, some of that shit is crazy to me. So I had to like really back off this idea that like abortion is not okay, because
I think we're all so, we hear abortion and it's like, oh, do we think it's okay to just have a procedure to have a woman pregnant, not be pregnant? And that's what abortion is. But it's really not that, right? There's all these different sorts of like questions. Where does life start? Where does it end? What happens when someone's having a medical procedure and there's a choice to be made, but the choice can't be had because the law is saying that you can't have it? What happens if someone gets a crime is committed and someone gets raped and then they have a baby and there's all these different outliers, which are not the common, but like a lot of times it's kind of like our judicial system. Like, we're innocent until proven guilty. I would rather a bunch of people that are guilty get let off as long as one innocent person doesn't go to jail, right? It's kind of that sort of vibe of like, sometimes you have to accept a certain amount of like not ideal in order for what's more important to happen, which is an innocent person doesn't go and is punished for something they didn't do. And I think that that's kind of what I think as far as abortion goes, is that there's so many little outliers or so many different things. And so I don't think that pro-life and Roe v. Wade should have been overturned because there's just too much stuff. And as a woman, like I can only imagine as a woman how that would feel to have that happen and have those rights taken away, because a lot of times we see it in such a simplistic way. Ooh, don't have an abortion. Don't get pregnant if you don't want it. That's not how life works. So it happens when people want babies, that people happen, all that.
I got to fly, bro. Great chatting, though.
Good luck tomorrow. I hope that you get to vote easily and quickly. And let me know if you vote for Kamala, because
I will. I will.
Henry, I have a question.
Yeah.
I got a question. All right. So tomorrow you're not going into the office.
Right.
Okay. And then you are staying home?
Oh, God. Are you fucking with me?
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Hold on.
And then what about Wednesday?
One more thing. Oh, yeah. We have to make sure that we're... Oh.
Fuck. All right. Well, Joe, I got a question. Joe. No, dude. Hope you have a great night, man.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later.
I love you, man. Peace.
Love you too. Bye.
I love you guys. Fucking weird ass show. I gotta go, guys. I don't know about you, but